Osama bin Gumi. Among many things he said, like as a regular denial, genocide denial in Nigeria, among them, right? Chief among them. So Sheikh Osama bin Gumi, who continued to say that there is no Christian killings, and in fact, there is actually Muslim killings than Christians. And the question around that many people have raised is one of them is that why did they have to take the scream and the shout of the Christians being killed to get the attention of those who are terror advocates, terrorist sympathizers, to begin to say Muslims are also being killed? And when you say who are those who are actually killing the Christians and the Muslims in Nigeria, the chief among them is the terrorist, the jihadist in Nigeria, who some people love to live in denial of, right? And say, no, 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 it's not about religion and all of that about that dash. So the latest from Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is that, yes, you might have seen coffins, you might have seen videos of supposed mutilated bodies, but he has it on a very good authority that most of those coffins buried, they were empty. An allegation that is so brazen and so false, like just because they have been doing everything to make the promise of a Trump of coming after the supposed jihadists that are targeting Christians and this time even Muslims too, right? So they are doing everything to not only to water it down, but at the same time to deflect from it by making this kind of bogus allegations. Others are already asking them that, yeah, there are, people killed by these Islamists, okay, where there are evidence, mass graves where hundreds and thousands have been buried. There are records, pictorial record, names, and all of those things that could tell you these people killed. They were targeted by the Islamists because of their religion. There are others who became part of their jihadi campaign, who indeed are not because they were Christians, but because they owed something that these terrorists possibly also needed, and they became victims. So people will want these advocates of more Muslims have been killed to be very truthful and honest if genuinely they care about the Muslims that are killed by these terrorists. So number one, there shouldn't be any form of disagreement of opinions on how these terrorists should be tackled. The Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed. In a nutshell, Nigerians are being slaughtered, massacred, genocided in their own country. So ordinarily, that should unite all religions, unite all stakeholders. But right now, those who are supposed to do that are doing everything to deflect by pointing fingers and tell you that it's not that bad. Oh, it is in fact that bad. At the same time, blowing hot and cold at the same time. Like Gumi. Gumi is not only just denying the existence of these killings, like it is being reported. He is in fact defending the killers by telling the people that they are talking to them, they are their children, they are on revenge mission. Revenge mission on who? What did Nigerians do to them? If the government failed them, well, they should take a seat. Welcome to the party. Nigerians have been cheated. Nigerians have been robbed. Every Nigerian is robbed, at least mostly, in that contraption. And I don't see others picking up guns and start killing the other Nigerians and say, because they are on revenge. So Gumi continued to advocate for um, amnesty for terrorists, forgetting the fact that for the past 10 years, APC, Egbekegbe, they brags, they have been bragging of how they have been releasing repentant terrorists. So there is already an amnesty for these terrorists in Nigeria. So if these ones who are killing people continue to ransack villages, communities, kidnapping women and children, if amnesty that Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is asking for from government is a solution, by now, terrorism in Nigeria should have abated substantially. But we are not stupid. There are other factors that is actually driving them. And the religion they are using as a front, including those who are their sympathizers, their sponsors, their mouthpieces in Nigeria, who are doing it openly, and those who are doing it behind the scene. So if amnesty for terrorists that Gumi is preaching is actually a solution, APC, Egbekegbe, they have released over 200,000 repentant terrorists in the last 10 years. They have convicted 0. So which means Gumi knows what he is doing. Deny the genocide. Use the killed Muslims as posters, as an excuse why nobody should call it a genocide. But telling us that those people were killed and buried, they were fake coffins. That is extra. And that's where we're going to start from this evening, ladies and gentlemen, brethren. Like and share the broadcast, and we'll go to the studio of Arise, where they were also like shocked, like, what? Yeah, that's how desperate they have become. But here.
Controversial Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has accused some Christian groups in Nigeria's MiddleBelt of staging fake mass killings to fabricate a genocide narrative. In a statement shared on his verified Facebook page, Gumi claimed that a doctor informed him that certain groups are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. Gumi wrote on Facebook, "A doctor wrote me, do you know that some MiddleBelt Christian groups are now staging fake mass killings? They are burying empty coffins and recording the process as if real victims were killed just to push the narrative of a Christian genocide. This is desperation at its peak, a disgrace, manipulating information just to provoke hatred and international sympathy." I mean, Gumi further described the genocide allegations as part of what he called a well-orchestrated plan to attack Sharia law and fuel Islamophobia. He urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to summon the U.S. ambassador and demand an official retraction of Trump's threat or consider severing diplomatic ties with the United States. However, Northern Can President John Hayab has dismissed Gumi's claims, accusing the cleric of lying and manipulation. Rufai, I mean, I'd like for you to tie in both stories. First, you know, the comment from Yusuf Tuga, and also, I mean, this is a serious allegation made by Sheikh Ahmad Gumi.
Please, with due respect, I must have to beg. It's not that hard to tell the truth. There's Christian genocide. People like Sheikh Gumi, from saying that Muslims are being killed, Christians are being killed, now they are trying to deny the corpses of people that died.
And I have actually seen videos, Rufai, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you on this one, about the coffins. I have seen open coffins of entire family members, babies, all Christians, being buried.
It has now shown that it's a propaganda people are trying to play. Yeah. But you see, in life, you'll be judged by what you did. And we should be careful. Sheikh Gumi, in his propagandish nature, is now saying that these killings never happened, by saying that some of the coffins, or by saying that somebody sent him a message that some of the coffins are not what? That you don't have people in them. He's not going to deny the fact that we're going to say it again, and they might not like it. I don't want to be popular. I want to stand in justice. At all times. There's Christian genocide in Nigeria, and please, let's find a way to solve it. Let's not do this propaganda. Let's not pitch people against each other. And let's not deny the killings and the pains of Christians. We have to say things the way they are so that the government will solve this problem. The first approach the government took showed that they wanted to go the line of changing the narrative, which was wrong. Nobody's saying anything to spite anybody. We are speaking the truth so that we can get action.
Yes, absolutely.
And Sheikh Gumi saying this, is very bad and insightful.
Really insightful.
And I'm shocked that Gumi is saying this. Nobody's talking back at him.
Really?
Government is not saying anything. We are just looking.
All right.
It's not fair.
This is unfair, Dr. Bati, really unfair. I mean, I'd like to emphasize the point again that Professor Wole Soyinka made. You weren't here when we took the story where he talked about the fact that the people that are killing the Christians are Islamist extremists. They are not the regular Muslims, they are jihadists. And we have heard this over and over again.
I think Sheikh Gumi is insensitive. What he has said is irresponsible. It amounts to dancing on the grave of persons who lost their beloved relatives. And I think that he should be called to order. He's in Turkey, we're told. He should be called to order by the Nigerian government. When he steps back into this country, he should be invited for questioning and warned not to incite violence, because no country can solve.
Controversial Islam.
I mean, it's a common sense thing. Let's reason it together. Okay? What does he actually really stand to gain in pushing the narrative of, like, denying the killings entirely? What is it going to take for people to admit that there are Muslims, there are Islamic terrorists? These are these are like established facts. So you are not an extremist. You are a Muslim. In fact, the actions of these terrorists tarnishes your religion's image to some extent. And if there is anyone that you should be upset with right now as a Muslim, a genuine Muslim, in this sense, not an extremist, because we have extremists among those of you who genuinely pretend to be Muslims. Okay? When you begin to have all these extreme thoughts, you begin to identify some people as infidels, kafiris. You get what I mean now? And you begin to try to explain away the actions of these terrorists. And you easily take offense. Yeah, when we talk about these terrorists, Islamic jihadists, shouting Allahu Akbar, in slaughtering innocent people. You are offended because they said they are Islamic. Rather, you are angry with people who say that. You are not totally angry with the terrorists who continue their campaign of violence, where innocent people have been killed. I have Muslims in my family. They are not extremists, so to say. And I've had Muslims, a lot of them, right, who have confidently said, this is anti-Islam. Are you with me? It is anti-Islam. Islam doesn't support, right, killing harmless, vulnerable people, even during war. Do you understand? So you that believe all of that, then you are watching these killers. At this point, they are not just killing those they call the kafiris. They are also going to mosques, slaughtering your own supposed brothers inside mosque. You know, when they kill people in a community, they say, oh, if this community is populated with, Christians, definitely if terrorist strikes there, the people that will be victims will be Christians. If they go to Muslims communities that are like they are the highest population, when they kill people there, so the highest number of people that will be victims will be Muslims. A logical sort of like, it's kind of like a logical argument. If all of us want to be like balanced, and we are not here to do competition about more Christians are killed, more Muslims are killed. I am talking to you as a Muslim, you as a Muslim now, right? So your own brothers and sisters in Islam have been killed by these same terrorists inside mosques. So if you deny the religions of those killed in their communities, in this instance, if you argue about that, both sides, how do you describe when they go inside mosques and killed worshippers, right? 40, 50 at once, where they burn down mosques. You as a Muslim, at that point, who should you be angry with? Then you see them, they deliberately go into mosques, kidnap reverend fathers, pastors, church members, and beheaded them, others executed, or, like in a brutal way. And you have seen them destroy churches. So who should you be mad at? Should you be angry, right, that people are reacting based on these actions and you are mad at them rather than the people who have brought this disrepute and all of that against the religion? So this is where logical reasoning should have come in, right? Where Muslims or Christians or will say, listen, this is not a competition. If the terrorists are Christians, bring them to justice, kill them. If they are Muslims, bring them to justice, kill them. Because the peaceful coexistence between both religions and others is something that if you cherish based on your religious teachings, because I believe that both religion preaches something like that, peaceful coexistence, respect for each other, you know what I mean? At least back to Nigeria being a secular country. So this is a common sense thing. There is no reason for anybody to sit anywhere trying to explain anything to anybody when people are being killed, displaced, and you are arguing whether it is Christian genocide or Muslim genocide. Now you are going to the extent of helping them to push the propaganda on both sides. You are dancing on the graves of the victims, right? The Reverend Father that has now become almost the face of this, advocacy for either internal and external help. Reverend Ezekiel Dakumo taking up the challenge and has also challenged Gumi that, Gumi, if that's the route you want to go, we can take you to the mass graves that we dug and where we buried our supposed loved ones. Personally, the man buried tens of members of his own church, slaughtered and killed by these terrorists. So he's got this first-hand experience. And of course, if somebody like Sheikh Gumi is sending out signal, there are people who are the survivors, families of the victims, that currently there is no real plan for them, by the way. If you ask the government of Nigeria and say, what are you doing about this? They will tell you they are going after the terrorists. The military is Kinikon. They are, all those lies they will tell you. In all they say, you will never see them tell you that there is a government plan from federal to states for the survivors, the victims of this Boko Haram, ISWAP, Lakurawa, Fulani terrorists who have advanced so deep into the heartland of northern Nigeria, including the MiddleBelt of Nigeria. So if somebody like Sheikh Osama bin Gumi could go on and deny this death and their families are watching, the government has no real plan for them. Only when election is coming, you see some of the politicians, some of the NGOs, they'll be visiting these victims. There is no plan to return them back to their homes. Many of them are hundreds, if not like thousands of kilometers away from their own original ancestral home. That at this point, we now have verified evidence of some of these communities that these terrorists, Fulani terrorists especially, killed the indigenous people, chased others away to the refugee camps. And then they renamed the community. Okay. There's actually one they said they called the outpost or something. Amantan or something, like a Fulani name. They changed the name of the community. There is more. However, force this Reverend Father.
It has started.
I give God the glory for what God is doing. I'm begging you in the name of Jesus Christ. I've just received a provocable news that this grave, that 27 people are lying on this grave. And by God's grace, we are going to build this grave. It's yet to be built because people are still mourning. People are still in trauma. So we allow people to subside in their pain, so that we come one day, we'll rebuild this monument. And the name of the people that have been destroyed, killed, together with children, we all label it out as that of Dogona Hawa. My fellow brothers, as I'm here, people were crying. why should Sheikh Gumi open his mouth and say it was an empty corpse? All Nigerian lawyers, I'm begging you in the name of Jesus Christ, those that have the heart of Christ, the Son, we are going to sue Sheikh Gumi, and this place, they are going to guide it. I've told the security, the youths, all the youths, make sure you guide it, because Fulani terrorists are still coming back to come and remove the corpse, so that to prove to their shame that it was an